Was there a moment where you're like, this is what I'm going to do? Or was it really, I want to figure out something else. I don't know what that is. And then it was.
Yes, it was. I think I need to create something.
Mm-hmm.
I want my own company. I want the control creatively and practically.
Yes.
And I just feel like I have this itch.
Yeah.
And I was constantly listening to like how I built this and it's just getting really inspired by these entrepreneurial stories.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it. And I was actively trying to think of an idea.
Were you trying to think of something inside entertainment?
Even if it wasn't consciously, but just looking back on it, I think I was very focused on the baby space because that was my world outside of work at this point, right?
Yes.
Sienna, who is my first child, it became my hobby to like almost dress her like a doll. I was obsessed with her.
She's so cute.
Baby fashion.
Yes.
I really was.
I love it.
I was buying these handmade outfits for her online, and I mean, it was
no, but it's your passion and your creativity is coming out.
That was how it was coming out
completely.
And something that I found through that world, there were these Facebook groups where you could buy and sell these handmade baby clothes that were really unbelievable.
Yeah.
And these moms were like, including me, were like feral for this stuff. Yeah. Like they were one of a kind.
Oh, wow.
There would be a drop and you would have to buy these outfits within like 3 seconds if you wanted one. It was really impressive. And so I was sort of like deep into that world, and I was noticing like, something really interesting here, right? These moms, including myself again, are really passionate about this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like filling some sort of need.
Yes.
And I think when you have a new baby, it can be isolating, right? You're by yourself a lot with a baby with like no one to talk to. And I think going online and finding these communities is something that a ton of moms do. And so I really started focusing in on that space, and I found it really interesting.
Yeah.
So that was, I would say, one aspect of what I started thinking about.
Yes, this was planting a seed for you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So then I have Gavin.
Yep.
He has an issue that Sienna never had, which is he has horrible eczema on his skin. And it was so sad. And, he was all like rashy, and I am obviously trying to fix it and trying to change his diet, and
totally, you'll do
every
anything.
lotion, every cream. I'm like spending all this money on all these solutions that don't work. I looked down at him and I realized that his organic cotton onesie that he's sleeping in, I unbutton it and I'm like, wait, is this actually irritating his skin even more?
Yeah.
So I go on this deep research dive, as I do.
Yep.
And start looking at alternative fabrics for babies and sensitive skin. And there's not much that I'm finding.
And does that immediately light you up also?
Well, at this point, I'm just looking for something to buy.
Okay.
I wasn't like, business idea.
Got it. Okay.
I'm really looking for something to buy. So then I read about, somewhere I read about bamboo fabric.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, great. I'll buy him something bamboo. I'm shocked to find there's almost nothing that exists.
Yeah.
There was a company that existed, but I found that it wasn't cute.
Yep.
Or functional, and it was like $50 for like one sleep. It almost immediately like soothed his skin. He grew out of it. He's super, super tall, always has been. So he was always like just growing at like an alarming rate.
Good work.
He grew out of it in like a week.
Oh, wow.
But I was so taken with this fabric.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, I mean, this had already been something that annoyed me, like changing a diaper in the middle of the night and trying to line up buttons or snaps, like so annoying.
Yes.
That was where the wheels started turning. I was like, wait a second.
It doesn't have to be like
sleeper
this.
has not been reinvented. Like, we're still putting our kids in the same things that we slept in as babies. And there's nothing functional. They could be cute, but they're not like soft.
Yep.
And the patterns are all kind of boring. and there's nothing for me to put Gavin in where he can match Sienna, which she wanted. And so I started to get really excited there, especially thinking about the idea of a product that you use with your baby at bedtime. Like, what is more emotional and sweet in that time?
Nothing.
Where you're cuddling with your baby and reading them a story. Nothing, right?
Nothing, truly.
That was when it was a bit, I don't want to say like eureka, but it was a bit like, I got to look into this.
And so the notion of not just the specific bamboo fabric, Lunalux?
Yes.
Okay. So which
that is something that we developed over time.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're going to talk about the growth of this company too. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. So you start with a few different prints, but you also start with the zippy.
Yes.
The zippy is really the thing.
The star.
Because you're solving a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and that light bulb, I imagine, because also, there's marketing's important. There's 1,000 things that are important, but if the product itself is not the real deal, that's going to fade, right?
Yeah.
This is why, I buy it all the time for my nieces, but especially as baby gifts for newborns.
Yeah.
Right? It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yes.
You are still working at Universal Pictures at this point. Yes?
Correct.
What is your first step, basically? Did you have any connections in fashion? Anything? Where did you start?
Zero connections in fashion, manufacturing, textiles, e-commerce, like nothing. I started off by looking for factories in downtown LA. And I ended up spending about a year working with one factory on samples that turned out to be like just a massive waste of time, because production in LA, while it can be great, it's very small batch. It's very expensive, very expensive.
Yeah.
It wasn't conducive to what I was thinking, but I didn't know any better. So I feel like I wasted a year, but it was really like a learning experience.
I was going to say, nothing's wasted, right?
I wanted to develop the fabric, and I wanted samples of this zippy prototype that I had in mind.
Okay.
So I eventually got it made by them, and then I realized I would have to charge like $60 for a zippy, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So after that, I pivoted to, okay, I got to go to overseas. Started trying to reach out to any factory that I could find information for online.
And again, you're literally, because I find this also inspiring, you're like Googling.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Again, no leg up here in any way.
No,
incredible.
Zero. That was a bit depressing, because most people wouldn't talk to me.
Okay.
Eventually I find a manufacturer who's willing to take this on.
Yep. And you have a prototype to share at that point?
No,
or you're kind of starting from scratch with them?
I only had my very janky drawings.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Okay, so eventually I start getting a bit of a knack for talking to these factories. Mm-hmm. And I start having them make samples for me. And like the first couple are terrible. And so I start expanding. I think I had samples made from like 15 different factories.
Wow.
So that was like another almost year.
Yep.
Even though China's much quicker.
Yep.
And at this point I start getting pricing. I start feeling like, oh, this might be like a viable idea. And finally I find this one factory that I really like, and I get these samples that I'm obsessed with.
Amazing.
And so I was very much like, I remember in my old job, everything was like proof of concept,
yes.
Proof of concept, get a proof of concept.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'm going to get a proof of concept.
Yes. And you finally had one.
Yeah.
After all that time and research and effort, and also not good enough, right?
Yeah.
And then you weren't just like, this is good. You were obsessed with it. It was so clearly exactly right.
Well, yes, I loved it, but I still really didn't know if anyone else would care.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't. I know you hear some founders and they have this just unwavering belief that their business is going to work, or their product is going to change the world. I didn't have that. I was like, I love this. I think other moms are going to like it, but I don't know.
Right.
So I wanted to find out. I ended up ordering those minimum order quantities. It was 4,000 units.
Okay.
shipped to my garage. And
was it the banana print?
Yeah.
Love that.
That was included.
So cute.
And what Aaron and I had decided, Aaron, my husband, had decided was, okay, let's give it 9 months, see if it gets any momentum, see if people like it, see if I can sell through those 4,000 units.
Yeah. But you were at that point leaving your job at Universal to put all of your effort into this.
Yes.
Knowing that
I left my job in, I want to say like May 1st, knowing that the shipment was supposed to be delivered June 1st to my house.
Amazing.
So I didn't tell anyone what I was doing. I think I said like I was taking a break.
Yeah.
Because I also didn't know if this was going to be a real thing or not.
Totally.
So, and also I look back on it, and the fact that I was giving myself 9 months is so absurd. Like,
say more. Why? Because that's such a short amount of time to actually establish. Okay.
Yeah. And it's really not enough time to know if a business is going to work or not. Like, it's actually ridiculous.
What was then? You have connections into a mom community, right? What is the first step for you trying to sell through these 4,000 units?
Yeah.
Is it a website? Is it a team in any way? You're doing it all on your own, I imagine.
I did it all on my own in the scrappiest possible way.
I love it.
I spent $18,000 on inventory and maybe a photo shoot.
Okay. Oh, did you use your own kids?
No, I like shipped them off somewhere. I can't remember.
Love it.
And I did absolutely everything else myself. I built the website. Yeah. I edited the photos. I wrote the description. I was just teaching myself as I went along.
Totally.
I didn't know anything about online marketing. I had no marketing budget. And I was sort of not really looking for that. I just sort of wanted like feedback from moms and to see if people liked the product. Like, that was my immediate goal.
Okay.
I did send it out. I sent about 100 packages out to influencers.
Yes.
That I personally liked. And I just like cold sent them. I like found people's addresses online.
Amazing.
What happened was I put an email out to friends and family, which I'm sure you got. I posted on social media. I posted in those mom groups, thinking it was going to be a little bit like crickets. And it was a bit insane from that day one. And what I thought was weird and interesting was, of course, like, I was expecting my friends and family to order and support me. But the thing that was weird that was coming in were orders from like Jennifer from second grade, who I was friends with on Facebook, but like hadn't spoken to like 30 years or whatever.
Totally.
And I was like, she doesn't owe me a favor, So like, I thought that was interesting. Very quickly, the orders went from, Aaron and I are looking up like every person that orders, like figuring out like everyone was 1 degree away.
Yeah.
And this was a different time in Instagram. It was sort of like really amazing Instagram timing.
2018?
2018.
Okay.
So what would happen is the influencers weren't coming on and being like, oh, I got these pajamas, look at them. Yeah. But their kids were wearing them in the background. And because they're so bright and colorful and bold
and gorgeous,
they would start getting DMs like, what are those pajamas your kids are wearing? And so these influencers would come on and be like, oh my God, you guys, I've gotten like 500 DMs about these pajamas. Like, let me tell you. Yes. And
because you are then set up, you have the website, so you're prepared. I'm curious, when you reach out, is part of Gavin's eczema story included in this? Like, I'm a mom, I was inspired to do this because I was solving a problem. Also, they're so soft and they look great and you'll love them. You don't have to have sensitive skin. Yeah. Or your baby doesn't.
Yeah. I never leaned into it too much because I never wanted it to feel sort of like a medical solution. Right.
Yes.
Fair. So I always focused on like the unbelievable softness and the stretch. Yes. And
the stretch, so good.
The stretch is pretty magical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They fit forever.
Yes.
And so it was those qualities that I think you can tell someone that they're so soft, blah, blah, blah. But until they feel it, they don't really get it. And that is why the product honestly like marketed itself.
Yeah.
It was really amazing.
Yeah. So you start with how many designs? The bananas.
I want to say it was 3 prints and 3 solids.
Okay. Because you also.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know if people were going to want solids. I loved the prints, and I was designing for myself and my kids, right?
You're designing these, right? You're not like you come up with the design.
At the beginning, they were sort of commercially available patterns that I was going into Photoshop and manipulating myself.
Yes.
But it's nothing like today where we have like a team of artists and everything's, ours exclusively.
Yeah.
But it was very much my taste, my art direction.
Yeah.
And I always wanted everything to feel, sort of like your wallpaper, like fun and happy and aspirational and optimistic.
Like, I love that print. It's Rifle Paper Garden Party.
I know it, yeah.
And exactly. Like, if you know, you know.
So that's how I always like to think about the pajamas.
Okay, incredible. So you start with the zippy.
Yes.
I want to understand sort of where the expansion starts.
I mean, really, the products in the expansion were so customer led.
Yeah.
And one of the other really, really important things that I did was I started my own Facebook group called Little Sleepies VIPs. I wanted it to be a place where I could connect with the customers, where they could give feedback, where they could see sneak peeks. I had all of these like grand plans for it, but I had no time to do anything with it. So I created the group, I think the same day like the business launched.
Yep.
And really wanted to get to it. Had no time because I'm literally shipping all the orders myself, doing all the email. Like, I am doing everything. And I go into the group maybe like a month in, and there's like thousands of members in there already. So that was really exciting, and has since then been like a huge focus of the company. It really is. It's such a place of connection, not just for people on the Little Sleepy side to connect with customers, but also just like these moms connecting with other moms. It's like the most magical place. It's really cool.
Exactly. And that community, and as you were saying, which it was always sort of astonishing to me, especially when I was home full time with my little kids, how wildly exhausting and wildly boring it is.
Yes.
Because you're not engaging with other adults. It's when I listened to Howard Stern nonstop. It's also like, this is hard. Am I doing it wrong? Right? And that sort of just like basic notion, when you can connect with others, I say this about the business a lot now. The only comfort is the commiseration.
Yes.
Like, we're all here.
Yeah.
This
in it
is
together,
crazy.
Going through the same thing.
Exactly.
It is like motherhood. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Where is the moment where it's not just you? Is it just you in your garage and you have a collab with Disney?
I was so overwhelmed in those first few months where I was like, I desperately need help. I don't know what to hire.
Yeah.
I don't know where to get them. I don't know when I would have time to train them. This was actually an ongoing problem for years. It was such a catch-22. I did hire my first employee about 2 months in as a part-time virtual assistant.
Okay.
And she was someone who was a brand rep for me. I had this brand rep program where people would apply to be brand reps. I would have a team of like maybe 20.
Okay.
And they were basically getting sent free product in exchange for cute photos of their kids.
So then I don't have to hire the photographers. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah. And it was a great trade. So one of my brand reps was unbelievably like smart and helpful. And I reached out to her one night on DM and said, like, have you ever done virtual assistant work? Would you be interested? And she said, well, I never have, but I'd be willing to try, and I'm a pretty fast learner.
Yep.
And
that's all you need.
She actually just left the company like 3 months ago.
She was employee number 2. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She was so amazing. She ended up running our internal operations. She turned out to be like one of the most fantastic people I've ever known.
This is also just such a lesson. I heard the Barefoot Contessa say this once, hire happy. And
I love that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's basically like, hire the person. They can be taught anything.
Yes.
Right? Because also at that point, you had been a studio executive, you'd worked in Hollywood, you know, we see a lot of shit. There's a lot of, you just come across some diamonds in the rough sometimes where you're like, and you clearly had an instinct about that.
Yes.
So then brought her into the fold.
Yes. And she ended up doing everything with, you know, she was really an all hands on deck person. She was a right hand. So first I handed her customer service, and then I handed her logistics, and it just sort of grew from there. And she very quickly became full-time. And she lived in Maryland. She wasn't in person with me.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah. So I was still doing all the fulfillment in the garage. I outgrew the garage pretty quickly. And I had a huge storage locker on Ventura at just one of those like storage locker facilities. And it had no lights. So getting the product off my hands was... oh my God, that was like the best feeling in the world.
Was the game
going
changer.
To a fulfillment center, yeah.
Yes.
But then fulfillment centers, if they don't go right, can absolutely kill your business.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to find a good one. So I went through 3 terrible ones, I think.
I mean, so you break some eggs before you make a beautiful omelet that way.
A lot of eggs were broken. Yeah.
But you pivot away from them quickly enough that they are not ruining your business.
They didn't ruin the business, but they didn't help.
Yeah. And I'm also struck by a lot of your experience in Hollywood. That does really transfer in terms of this isn't working. It kind of reminds me of the script that's not working. You're not going into prep on that movie until that script is at least quite far along. If not totally locked, that's ideal, but usually not the case. This is just to say, sometimes that first draft comes in where you're like, this was a good idea.
Okay, it's so funny that you say that, because I have run the entire business using my skills that I thought were non-transferable from the movie business. I liken everything to what I was doing then.
I love it.
And it works. So I can tell you the skills do transfer. It's actually really funny.
Exactly. Yeah. So to everyone out there thinking about a pivot, especially in this business, but really in anything, like so much, it goes a little to the higher happy thing. That's the other thing that I'm really struck by that was part of our training at Universal.
Probably the most important lesson that I took with me from our training in the film industry is the work ethic and the idea that you never say, well, how do I do this? Or I can't do this. Like, you would never say either of those things.
Never.
You would like put your head down and figure it out.
Exactly.
And that is exactly how I built the business.
Yes.